Hello, my name is Mike. Welcome back to U-Boat History. Today we're doing something special. Instead of focusing on just one submarine, we're closing the chapter of the early coastal U-boats by looking at U8, U9, and U10. Three small boats that never became legends like U96, but helped build the foundation of everything that came after. Let's go! U8 was a Type IIb submarine, commissioned in 1935. Like U1 to U6, she was small, built for shallow seas, not the Atlantic. But U8 was different for one reason. She was among the very first U-boats to carry an official turret emblem. U2 and U3 had already begun this tradition in simple form, but U8 made it more permanent. Before the war, U8 served in the Baltic Sea as a training boat. When the war started, she carried out patrols in the North Sea and along the British coast, laying mines and scouting, but she didn't sink any ships. Her commanders, like Harald Grosse and Klaus Ewerth, were disciplined, respected officers. In May 1945, U8 was scuttled by her own crew in Wilhelmshaven to avoid capture. The next in line is U9, carried a name that already had history. The original U9 in World War I sank 3 British cruisers in one morning. The new U9, commissioned in 1935, was again a small Type IIb submarine, but now with a modern diesel-electric system and, like U8, an emblem on the tower. In the early years of the war, U9 was commanded by Wolfgang Lüth, who later became one of the most successful U-boat aces of all time. Under his command, U9 sank several ships during the Norwegian campaign. Lüth was known as strict, intelligent, and extremely capable. Ironically, he survived the war and was killed by a German sentry in 1945 in a tragic accident. After Lüth left, U9 returned to training duties, and in August 1944, she was withdrawn from service. And then there was U10. U10, also a Type IIb, was commissioned in September 1935. She too carried one of the early U-boat emblems. Simple, sometimes a pig with a torpedo depending on the flotilla. But U10's real story isn't combat or glory, it's routine. She trained crews for years, dived thousands of times, and showed young sailors what life inside a steel tube felt like. She never achieved fame, but she was essential, a classroom beneath the sea. Her commanders were professional sailors, not involved in politics or later scandals. In August 1944, she was taken out of service and later scrapped. U8, U9, and U10 weren't built for the Atlantic. They didn't hunt convoys like the famous Type 7s, but they trained the men who did. They were the first to carry turret symbols, a tradition that would become a signature of the U-Bootwaffe. They were the first generation of a new navy, quiet and unseen. But without them, there would be no U-47, no U-96, no Atlantic offensive. And with that, our journey from U1 to U10 comes to an end. Now it's your turn. Which U-boat should we explore next? Let me know in the comments. You've been watching U-Boat History.